afternoon and welcome. This is ASO TV News at 3. I am Isa Nu. The headlines. President Tinubu reaffirms Nigeria's commitment to global road safety at UN high-level meeting. Senate passes bill to rename NICOM. Military falls Boko Haram ISWAP extortion mission in Yobe and kills terrorists. Trump announces new 50% tariffs on Canadian imports. Here are the details of the news. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, to lead Nigeria's delegation to the United Nations high-level meeting on road safety in New York. Representing the President, the Corps Marshal reaffirmed Nigeria's commitment to reducing road traffic death through stronger road safety policies, technology-driven enforcement, and improved emergency response.
And reinforce evidence-based road safety management through the National Crash Reporting Information System, NACRIS, while enhancing post-crash care with a state-of-the-art National Emergency Call Center and a 24-hour ambulance service to ensure prompt response to crash. Nigeria also launched Nigeria Road Assessment Program, Nigeria RAP, in partnership with International Road Safety Assessment Program, IRAP, to advance the safe system approach and improve road infrastructure safety. Nigeria is equally privileged to host the Secretariat of the African Association of Road Safety Lead Agencies, ASLA, providing a platform for continental collaboration, knowledge exchange and sharing, and institutional strengthening among African road safety institutions. In line with our commitment to sustainable mobility, Nigeria is implementing the presidential initiative on compressed natural gas and electric vehicles, while developing robust safety standards for heavy goods vehicles and emerging transport technologies. While Nigeria has recorded significant progress, important gaps remain, particularly in intelligent enforcement technologies, road infrastructure, safety assessment, and institutional capacity development. Nigeria, therefore, calls upon the international community to strengthen technical cooperation, facilitate technology.
He also highlighted Nigeria's leadership in Africa through the Nigeria Road Assessment Program and called for greater international cooperation to achieve the UN target of having road traffic deaths and injuries by 2030.
Guided by Marrakesh Declaration 2025, Nigeria remains resolute in accelerating the implementation of the global plan for the Decade of Action for Road Safety 2021-2030. Deeply concerned by the findings of the WHO Global Status Report on road safety, which identified Africa as the region with the highest road safety fatality rate, Nigeria has reinvigorated the implementation of the Nigerian Road Safety Strategy 2021-2030. This whole government multi-sectoral strategy enjoys the full support of the federal government and is coordinated through the National Road Safety Advisory Council, chaired by the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
The meeting is expected to adopt a declaration to accelerate global road safety effort. The federal government yesterday dismissed claims in some quarters that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration has borrowed about 80 trillion naira. Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, affirmed that the debt figures being circulated were misleading as they failed to distinguish between actual borrowing, debt revaluation arising from the naira's depreciation, and liabilities inherited from the previous administration. He spoke during an interactive session on the state of the economy at the National Assembly, responding to questions from the Senate Committee on Finance. Oyedele said that the Tinubu administration had not even drawn half of the external loans approved by the National Assembly. According to him, much of the increase in Nigeria's public debt stock resulted from the accounting adjustment and the securitization of overdraft inherited from the Muhammadu Buhari administration rather than fresh borrowing. The Senate Committee on Finance, led by its chairperson, Senator Muhammad Sani Musa, APC, Niger East, had demanded detailed explanation on Nigeria's foreign and domestic debt profile amid growing public concern over the country's rising debt stock. Oyedele said one of the biggest misconceptions was that every borrowing requested approved by the National Assembly was immediately treated by the public as money already borrowed. He explained that approvals granted under the medium-term expenditure framework merely authorized the government to borrowing up to a specified limit whenever necessary. The Senate has passed a bill for the renaming of the National Insurance Corporation Commission as Insurance Regulatory Commission. Senate committee is the change to the new name is imperative against the backdrop that the former name is confusing given the history and makeup of the Nigerian insurance industry. The bill seeks to provide protection for the Commission and its officers against adverse claims in respect of the execution of their powers. The Senate on Tuesday passed the Insurance Regulatory Commission IRS Act following the presentation and consideration of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions. National Insurance Regulatory Commission Repeal and Enactment Bill 2026 SB 394 by the Chairman Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, APC, Lagos East. The bill was sponsored by Senator Mukhail Adetokunbo Abiru alongside all members of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions. With this, the National Insurance Commission, NICOM, has officially rebranded and transitioned into the Insurance Regulatory Commission, IRC, after the bill was read the third time and passed. On the objective of the bill, Abiru said the current National Insurance Commission Act 1997 is outdated and does not adequately address the emerging economic growth and needs and development of the insurance business. The chairman of Kwali Area Council, Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali, has received the 4 paramount traditional rulers in the council on their first official courtesy visit since his assumption of office, reaffirming his administration's commitment to inclusive governance, security and sustainable development. The delegation led by the Esu of Kwali, His Royal Highness Luka Ayedo Nizansang III, included the Chief of Pai, Alhaji Abubakar Sani Pai, the Aguma of Gomani, Alhaji Adamu Saba, and the Esu Miwako, Alhaji Abdulaziz Usman. During the meeting, the chairman held discussions with the traditional rulers on the issues affecting well-being of residents, with particular emphasis on strengthening the security of lives and property, as well as accelerating developmental projects across 10 political wards of the area council. Mr. Nuhu Daniel Kwali also received representatives of the IMOE Solutions System Limited, who paid him a congratulatory visit following his electoral victory and inauguration as chairman. In a related development, a delegation from the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, representing the state commandant, visited the chairman to appreciate his prompt intervention following the recent security incident along the Yangoji Abaji Road. The delegation also commended his commitment to enhancing security across Kwali Area Council. The chairman further met with the management of the Local Education Authority, Kwali, where discussions focused on improving the quality of education, enhancing service delivery, and strengthening collaboration between the council and the education sector. The day's engagement concluded with an executive council meeting involving the management of Kwali Area Council to review administrative priorities and fast-track the implementation of the administration's development programs. The chairman reiterated that his administration remains focused on providing purposeful leadership through strategic partnership, inclusive governance, and people-centered policies aimed at improving the lives of residents and ensuring sustainable development across all communities in Kwali Area Council. The chairman of Kuje Area Council, Mr. Danjuma Samuel Chekolo, has expressed dissatisfaction over the poor state of some primary health care centers in the area council, describing the situation as unacceptable and inconsistent with his administration's commitment to providing quality health care services to residents. The chairman stated this during an inspection tour of selected primary health care centers and the ongoing drainage evacuation exercise along major road corridors within the council. Correspondent Abdullah Mukhtar reports.
Speaking during the inspection, Mr. Danjuma Samuel Shekolo said primary health care facilities are expected to provide safe, accessible, and efficient medical services to the people. He, however, lamented that the condition of some of the facilities falls far below acceptable standards and does not reflect an environment where residents can confidently seek health care.
Those who are in charge are not also helping matters because they are not maintaining the facilities. You can just see like this one we're standing now, 2 doors are down. How many minutes will it take them to fix it? And these are the challenges that we have generally, that government structures cannot be maintained because we see them as government structures. These are health centers. Nothing seems to be working in the health centers completely.
The chairman stressed that improving infrastructure alone will not guarantee quality health care unless it is matched by the commitment, professionalism, and dedication of health personnel. He warned that his administration will no longer tolerate negligence, absenteeism, indiscipline, or poor work ethics among health workers, emphasizing that every staff member must take responsibility for the facilities under their care and discharge their duties with the highest level of professionalism.
I believe that with what we have, some of these facilities, we're going to see how to make sure that we fix them. But while fixing them, let me also charge those who are in charge that will not continue to fix this facility while they continue to damage them or to spoil those facilities.
Mr. Shekolo also inspected the ongoing drainage evacuation exercise along major roads in Kuje and expressed satisfaction with the pace and quality of work, noting that the exercise is aimed at preventing flooding, improving sanitation, and ensuring a cleaner environment for residents. In a related development, the chairman directed security agencies to immediately intensify operations against miscreants and tout, popularly known as scavengers, operating within the Kuje main market, with a view to restoring law and order and safeguarding traders and residents. Mr. Shekolo reaffirmed his administration commitment to delivering quality healthcare, improved infrastructure, enhanced security, and a cleaner environment as part of its broader agenda to improve the welfare and quality of life of the people of Kuje Area Council. Abdullahi Mukhtar, ASO Television News.
The military says troops of Sector 2 Operation Harden Kai have foiled an extortion mission by Boko Haram ISWAP terrorists in Yobe State, killing one insurgent and recovering arms and logistics items. It said the operation disrupted a key revenue source used to finance terrorist activities. The acting media information officer of OPHK, Captain Mohammed Goni, disclosed this in a statement on Tuesday. He said the operation conducted on July 19 followed credible intelligence on the movement of 2 Volkswagen Golf cars and motorcycles carrying suspected terrorists to collect illegal levies from communities along the Paya-Kafia axis of the state. According to Goni, troops of the Forward Operation Base Bukati in conjunction with the 27th Task Force Brigade acted on intelligence by launching an aggressive fighting patrol that intercepted the terrorists. Goni said follow-up operations conducted on July 20th along the Paya-Kafia Garingada axis led to the recovery of the abandoned vehicle, 25 rounds of belted PKT ammunition, 1 loaded AK-47 magazine, and 15 empty PKT ammunition cases. He added that troops also recovered assorted drugs, including paracetamol and nicotine products, as well as mechanical tools, believed to have supported terrorist logistics and sustainment activities. Goni reaffirmed OPHK commitment to sustaining pressure on terrorist groups through intelligence-driven offensive operations in collaboration with other security agencies and with the support of law-abiding citizens until the last peace and security are restored across the region. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, on Tuesday said the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Kemi Nandap, is not under investigation over alleged visa racketeering, contrary to media report linking her to the ongoing visa fraud. The clarification came as the anti-graft agency maintained that its investigation remains focused on some immigration officers accused of alleged visa fraud, with more prosecutions likely as the probe continues. In a statement by its head of media and publication, Dele Oyewale, the FCC described report linking NANDAP to the investigation as inaccurate. The agency, however, said criminal proceedings over the alleged visa fraud are already pending against some officers of the Nigerian Immigration Service at the Federal High Court. Beyond the pending cases, the FCC disclosed that its investigation is continuing and could result in fresh charges against additional immigration officer. The anti-graft agency reiterated that the ongoing investigation does not in any way involve the Immigration Comptroller General. It also urged media organizations to seek clarification from the Commission before publishing reports on its activities to avoid misrepresenting the fact. You are watching ASO Television News. You can watch us live on DSTV channel 392, also on Star Times TV channel 127 and Free TV channel 507. We're also on the UHF band on channel 38. Still to come, Trump announces new 50% tariffs on Canadian imports. Stay with us for these stories and more after the break.
In Biggie's house, there is no place to hide. And even when you think no one is watching, the energy can swing in an instant. This BB Naija Season 11, everything burns brighter. Only the biggest moves tip the scale, because nothing is given, but everything is for the taking. When the world watches, will you be outshined? Or will you step up and take the spotlight? Big Brother Naija Season 11 starts Sunday, July 26th, showing 24/7 on DSTV Channel 198 and GoTV Channel 49. Headline sponsor, Bet Power.
Nigeria has taken a major step towards reducing carbon emission in the aviation sector with the inauguration of a national high-level Sustainable Aviation Fuel Steering Committee and the launch of an ICAO-supported business implementation study. The initiative, unveiled in Abuja by the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority in collaboration with the International Civil Aviation Organization, the European Union, and the European Union Aviation Safety Agency, is aimed at positioning Nigeria as a leading producer of sustainable aviation fuel in Africa. Representing the Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Festus Keyamo, Director of Air Transport Management, Ahmad Tijani Abdullahi, said sustainable aviation fuel offers Nigeria an opportunity to cut aviation emissions while attracting investment, creating jobs, and boosting energy security. The ministers noted that Nigeria's abundant agricultural resources, expanding refining capacity, and strategic location provide a strong foundation for development for developing a viable sustainable aviation fuel industry. The Director General of the NCAA, Captain Chris Najomo, described the program as a major milestone in Nigeria's aviation sustainability drive, saying the feasibility study provides a roadmap for commercial SAF production and marks the country's transition from planning to implementation. The newly inaugurated steering committee will coordinate implementation of the program, while the business implementation study will identify commercially viable projects capable of attracting local and international investment. The Minister of Education, Dr. Maruf Tunji Alausa, has commissioned and upgraded a digital e-library at the Federal Government College, Kano, as part of effort by the federal government to strengthen digital learning and improve educational outcomes across the country. The minister, who spoke during an inspection of key education projects in Kano State, also reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to the proposed public-private partnership land swap initiative at the college. Education correspondent Subrat Usman tells us more.
Dr. Tunji Alausa said the project, when implemented, will generate resources for provision of better classrooms, hostels, and other critical infrastructure for students.
Is to talk about the PPP, the land swap arrangement, We've spoken to the principal. This land swap agreement will benefit the school. We'll go around now. There's no need keeping so many hectares of land that we're not going to use in 100 years. If we can have partnership to mobilize resources, to expand capacity, improve the physical infrastructure here, we will do it. Let the old students of Kano, FGC Kano, hear this loudly. The government will do what we think will be beneficial to the student. Our goal is not about sentiment, it's not about emotion, it's about giving every Nigerian child the highest quality of education. And we need resources to do that. It's about innovative domestic resource mobilization.
At the bilingual school in Ungogo, Dr. Alausa expressed satisfaction with the progress of work, which he said is about 19% complete and expected to be delivered by August 31, 2026, describing the bilingual school initiative as a key intervention in tackling the out-of-school challenge in the country.
Bilingual schools are designed to move our marginally and out-of-school children off the street into school. That's a big part of, that's one of the plans of our out-of-school strategy, to continue to move children off the street to in school. And we've been quite successful in the new strategies we've deployed as part of our Nigeria Education Sector Renewal Initiative. In the last 24 months, we've moved over 1 million children out of school back to school. And our goal is, beyond bringing them back to school, is to help retention.
Kept at 1.5% into the sector, and coming to 2026 also, where he set aside 30% into the education sector. So you can see we are very happy because with all the intervention we are getting from the federal government, and you see both are committed, both His Excellency the Governor and also the Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But the idea is for them to, the good learning outcome. That's what we are after.
At Federal Government College Kano, the minister commissioned a renovated digital e-library equipped with solar power and nearly 80 computer workstations. The minister said the federal government will continue to expand access to quality education, strengthen digital learning, and modernize infrastructure, while assuring that all policies and partnerships will remain focused on improving opportunities for Nigerian children.
The Federal High Court in Kano has sentenced a 28-year-old man, Juan Ashiru Idris, to 7 years imprisonment without the option of a fine for advertising cannabis sativa for sale on social media. The conviction followed his prosecution by the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, which announced the judgment in a statement issued by the media and advocacy officer of its Kano Strategic Command, Sadiq Mohammed Megateri. According to the statement, Justice S.M. Shuaibu convicted Idris on July 14, 2026, and ordered that the 7-year prison term take effect from the date of the judgment. The NDLA said Idris was arrested on April 22, 2026, after operatives of the Kano Strategic Command, acting on the directive of the State Commander CNDY Lawal, tracked him through a video circulated on social media in which he was seen publicly advertising cannabis sativa for sale. Describing the judgment as a landmark decision, the agency said it underscored the consequences of using public platforms to promote illicit drugs. Reacting to the verdict, the commander of the NDLA Kano Strategic Command, CNDY Lawal, said the conviction sent a clear message to individuals involved in the illegal drug trade. The NDLA also appealed to members of the public to support the fight against drug trafficking and substance abuse by providing credible information to security agencies to aid enforcement efforts. And now on business. The Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, FCCPC, has commenced the implementation of the Digital Electronic Online or Non-Traditional Consumer Lending Regulations 2025 DEON regulations. The Commission announced on Monday that the decision followed the ruling of Justice A.L. Aleagwa of the Federal High Court in Lagos, who dismissed a suit filed by the Wireless Application Service Providers Association of Nigeria, LTGT WASPAN, challenging the legality of the regulations. The FCCPC, in a statement signed by its Director of Corporate Affairs, Mr. Odanje Ijagu, disclosed that the court dismissed the plaintiff's originating summons in its entirety refused all the reliefs sought and upheld the validity of the DEON regulation, ruling that they were made within the Commission's statutory and constitutional powers. The statement indicates that the court also upheld the specific provisions of the regulations challenged in the suit and vacated the interim ex parte order that had temporarily restrained the Commission from implementing and enforcing the rules. The Commission explained that with the restraining order now discharged, the legal obstacle that prompted the temporary suspension of the regulation has been removed, taking the framework fully operational and enforceable once again. While applauding the court's decision, it noted that the DEON regulations were introduced to promote responsible digital learning, strengthening regulatory accountability, curb exploitative lending practices, and enhance consumer protection in Nigeria's rapidly growing digital lending sector. According to the Commission, it will continue to ensure that innovation and financial inclusion thrive within its transparent, fair, and accountable regulatory environment that inspires confidence among consumers, investors, and responsible operators. The U.S. have announced a 50% tariff on a broad range of Canadian imports, stepping up a trade dispute with one of the U.S. largest trading partners. According to the U.S. Representative Jamieson Gray, the tariffs would apply to about $20 billion in import from Canada, including products such as hockey stickers, wine, and cement. The tariffs will take effect on August 19, 30 days after U.S. President Donald Trump signs the proclamation. The White House said the move was a response to what it called Canada's discriminatory, unequal, and unreasonable tariff scheme, and was intended to improve conditions for exports of U.S.-made automobiles. The tariff marks the latest escalation in a long-running trade dispute between the two neighbors. The announcement came after the U.S. Supreme Court barred President Trump from using emergency powers to impose broad tariffs on import from many countries, forcing his administration to pursue alternative legal avenues. That's the bulletin, but before we go, let's take another look at one of our major stories. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has directed the Corps Marshal of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Shehu Mohammed, to lead Nigeria's delegation to the United Nations high-level meeting on road safety in New York. That's the bulletin. On behalf of the news editor and the entire production crew, I am Isa Nuhu. Thanks for listening.